Welcome to Arirang News. I'm Sean Lim, and welcome to a special New Year's broadcast from the Arirang Newsroom. Well, after a tug-of-war between the nation's rival parties that lasted into the wee hours of the new year, the National Assembly finally approved the nation's budget for 2014. A series of other key bills were also passed nearly 5 hours after the clock struck midnight. Our Myung-kil starts us off.
There will be no provisional budget necessary as the 2014 national budget was approved by the National Assembly on early Wednesday morning. The budget bill, which is worth $340 billion, was part of a package deal with two other bills, one to reform the National Intelligence Service and the other to attract more foreign investment into the country. The NIS reform package bans agents from gaining access to government offices and media outlets, and also calls for stricter punishments for agents that do not abide by the new regulations. Those found guilty of breaking the rules will face a maximum of 7 years in prison, up from the current 2 years. The so-called Foreigners Investment Promotion Bill allows the subsidiaries of Korea's conglomerates to set up joint ventures with foreign firms without having to own 100% share in the joint firms. The bill lowers the share ownership to 50%. The parliament also approved a bill that bans new cross-shareholding investments among conglomerate affiliates, a practice that has long been denounced as a tool for owner families to control their business empires with small stakes. Under the revision, which is expected to take effect in the second half of the new year, subsidiaries of a conglomerate with total assets of more than $4.8 billion cannot engage in new cross-shareholding or circle investments among themselves. Lawmakers also passed a series of revised tax bills. One will widen the income range for those subject to the top income tax rate of 38%. The current basement for the top income tax rate is $287,000 in yearly income, but that will be lowered to $144,000. Under the change, the government says an estimated 90,000 individuals will end up paying more in income taxes, which will result in an additional $300 million in tax revenue annually. Myung-kil, Arirang News.
Fans of online videos from Korea had the opportunity to see right at the start of the new year a clip promoting the Dokdo Islet. At midnight, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs released a video with ample historical evidence to spread the word about Korea's sovereignty over the islets and to counter Japan's recent barrage of online videos which try to claim the territory. Currently, the video is in Korean and can be viewed at tokdo.mofa.go.kr. Other language versions will soon follow this year. The Korea Railway Corporation is doing all it can to normalize train services following a 3-week-long union strike that officially ended on Tuesday. Although all union workers are back on the job, Korea-operated services are not running at full capacity just yet. Subways are to resume normal operations on January 6th and all train services on January 14th. As of Wednesday, KTX bullet train operations were running at 72%, the normal levels. The Saemal and Mugunghwa train services at 56% and 62% respectively, and cargo train services at 30%. Train ticket reservations for the upcoming Lunar New Year holiday will begin next Tuesday. Despite slowing global trade in 2013, Korea posted a record trade surplus of $44 billion last year, up 2% from the previous year. The Trade Ministry on Wednesday said the surplus was due to a steady growth in exports on the back of increased outbound shipments to countries like China and the United States. Looking ahead, however, the ministry says Korea's trade surplus may shrink as there are concerns over the U.S. Federal Reserve's stimulus tapering, slowing economic conditions in emerging countries, and the strengthening Korean won. In the spirit of the new year, has North Korean leader Kim Jongun extended an olive branch to us here in Seoul. In his New Year's message, Pyongyang's leader called for better ties with South Korea. Our Yu Lian has the details.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un delivered a rather conciliatory message towards South Korea on Wednesday.
We must create an atmosphere to improve ties between the two Koreas. I will work together with anyone who values our people and seeks reunification to improve relations.
The message, which was part of an annual New Year's speech that was broadcast live on state-run television, was rather unexpected. Pundits in Seoul have been expecting a military provocation by North Korea sometime in March or April this year, as it tries to turn attention away from instability following the execution of Chang Song-taek. They now expect North Korea to instead propose dialogue with Seoul in the coming months. But North Korean leader Kim Jong-un also mentioned the strained relations with South Korea and the United States. Pointing to their military exercises around the Korean peninsula, he called them rehearsals for nuclear war against the North. He warned that if war were to break out, it would spiral into a, quote, nuclear catastrophe. Now, as for the execution of his uncle and Pyongyang's former second most powerful man, Chang Song-taek, Kim did not mention him by name. He instead chose to refer to him as a factionalist filth and said that removing him has strengthened the ruling Workers' Party. Chang was executed in mid-December after being charged for trying to overthrow the government. Also on Wednesday, Kim, with his wife Lee Seol-ju and a group of top officials, made their annual visit to the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun to pay respect to the regime's two late leaders, Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, whose bodies lie in state there. Yurian, ARIRANG News.
And on this New Year's Day, the first Russian tourists to take advantage of the Korea-Russia visa waiver program arrived by boat in Sokcho Port on Korea's east coast. During Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit with President Park Geun-hye in Seoul last November, the two leaders signed an agreement for a visa-free travel program to boost tourism, trade, and overall relations. Under the scheme, which took effect today, citizens of either nation can visit the other without a visa for up to 60 days and up to 90 days in total over a 6-month period. Last year, approximately 95,000 South Koreans traveled to Russia, while more than 167,000 Russians visited Korea. Taiwan's Centers for Disease Control says the risks and threats of a bird flu pandemic are rising, with the second reported human case of H7N9 avian influenza in that country. Last month, an 86-year-old mainland Chinese tourist was hospitalized 2 days after entering the country and is still receiving treatment in Taiwan. This follows Taiwan's first case back in April when a 53-year-old man fell ill from the virus after visiting mainland China. The H7N9 bug caused a stir in March of 2013 when Chinese officials partially shut down the poultry industry after it was discovered that humans could be infected by the strain. In the coming year, we leave the snake behind and enter the year of the horse. For those of you who need a primer on what that might mean, our Kim Hyun-bin has a preview of an exhibition designed to help viewers understand.
What do Samsung Electronics CEO Lee Gun-hee, figure skater Kim Yeon-ah, and Girls' Generation members Yoona and Soo-young have in common? They were all born in the year of the horse. And people born under the sun in the Chinese zodiac are said to be outgoing, energetic, and clever with ingenious communication techniques. But there's more to it than that. And if you want to know more, you can head over to the National Folk Museum of Korea, which is marking the year of the horse with an exhibition to help visitors understand what it's all about.
The new year will be the year of the horse. The horse is a dynamic animal, so with that in mind, we devised this exhibition to help people understand what a big part of our lives and culture horses are.
Visitors will have a chance to see how horses in Korea from the Joseon dynasty to the present day were used and what they look like on different occasions.
Through this exhibition, we had a chance to learn about different types of horses and their characteristics.
There are dozens of artifacts, tools, and other implements on display, with detailed information about each piece and how it was used. The exhibition is scheduled to run through February 17th.
The year of the horse gives us a fresh start, a clean slate to make up for our mistakes and fulfill our goals. Kim Hyun-bin, ARIRANG News.
Well, it's been a relatively mild winter day here in Seoul. Clear skies started 2014 here in the nation thanks to a high-pressure system from China. Tomorrow we can also expect to see clear skies, and temperatures will reach similar highs to today's, but a touch cooler at 2 to 12 degrees Celsius. So if you have the time off, it's the perfect opportunity to be outdoors. And now let's get a check on weather conditions around the globe. And that's all from the Arirang Newsroom at this hour. I'm Sean Lim. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.